Dear everyone, I am talking about salt and its multiple benefits today. See, if you have certain doubts about salt, as to how much salt intake is safe, or which salt is best, or how to know that we are consuming more salt or less salt, or does salt consumption lead to high blood pressure, and so on. See, what we should primarily know about salt is that salt is very good and a very essential element for our body. And every cell of a body contains salt, so salt is that necessary to a body. Salt is 40% sodium and 60% chloride. And there are also some trace minerals in each form of salt, whether it is table salt or sea salt or rock salt, black salt, iodized salt, Celtic salt or Himalayan salt. Every salt contains some trace minerals in them, only that the proportion of minerals vary. Also, salt acts as an important electrolyte in the body. And you know what electrolytes are? Electrolytes are minerals which have an electric charge. See, for example, the minerals in salt like sodium, bicarbonate, potassium, calcium, magnesium, when these substances touch our taste buds, then the tongue releases saliva which works as a water current in them. And this water current facilitates the transport of nutrients and oxygen in the body. Also, this water current allows nerves to transmit messages and helps our muscles to work properly. But when these electrolytes are insufficient in the salt that we consume, then it leads to muscle weakness because of weak water current. See, the neurons in the brain need electrolytes to connect with each other. Even the cells in the heart need them. Also, the cells in the muscles and nerves, they all use electrolytes. That is, the body uses the minerals like sodium, potassium, magnesium to carry electrical impulses to connect with other cells. So, electrolytes are chemicals that conduct electricity when mixed with water. Electrolytes also help in balancing the amount of water in the body. Our body uses the minerals or the electrolytes in the salt to balance the fluids in the blood, and they in turn help in maintaining a healthy blood pressure. Now let's see which salt is good. For that, see to it that the salt you use is not a free flow salt, or it's not a vacuumized salt or double iodized salt, or not even pure white salt. See about iodine. Iodine, it is a trace mineral which is very essential to make thyroid hormone. Also, iodine is very critical for children's brain development. So, to fulfill this, you can use iodized salt. But one thing to remember about that is, you should always keep the salt jar tightly sealed, because every time you open and keep it exposed to air, the iodine in the salt evaporates quickly and the salt loses its iodine content. And other sources of iodine are seafoods, seaweeds, cod livers, and even eggs. Eggs are rich in iodine, but make sure to eat the yolk too, because it's the yolk that contains iodine in it. And nowadays, people use more pink salt or the Himalayan salt. No doubt it contains all the 84 minerals found in the human body. But this salt is low in sodium, and we humans need sodium. And those who have kidney problems, heart problems, and whose blood pressures are variable, and those who are low in potassium and magnesium, they can use pink salt as a substitute to normal sea salt. But too much potassium in pink salt, when you use it for longer periods, then even that is dangerous. It may cause irregular heartbeats and heart related problems. But sparingly, anybody can use this Himalayan salt for finishing dishes. And which salt is good? The normal unfortified table salt or sea salt. It's well enough for our consumption, as this salt contains loads of minerals in them. See, sodium helps in retaining the water or hydrating the body well. And if you keep on eating pink salt on a daily basis, then the body loses the capacity of holding back the moisture, and hence you may start urinating frequently. You may also feel fatigue. Even more, even more than 3 spoons of table salt, it may lead to heavy water retention in the body, causing swelling in the legs and urine retention in kidneys. So, whichever salt you're using, whether it's Himalayan salt or sea salt, use it sparingly and wisely too. And about those free flow salts, those fortified salts, and also about white salts, see, they are not good for health because many chemicals are used to process such salts. So avoid them. But salt is good. Good even to kidneys and kidney related patients and heart patients. See, even people with high blood pressure need ample amount of sodium. Even during hospitalization, the first thing given to a hypertensive patient when admitted is saline infusion. That is sodium chloride water or salt water. So don't think salt is bad or it should be avoided for blood pressure patients or cardiovascular patients. No, it's not so. Without sufficient sodium intake, nobody can survive. Only thing is you can switch from normal table salt to pink salt or to potassium chloride salts because it has less sodium and more minerals in it. So the easily available and less cost unprocessed brown salt is one of the best salts. Anyway, anything in moderation is good for health. Moreover, everything we eat from leafy greens to vegetables to fruits to poultry, meat and dairy products, everything does contain some amount of salt in it. But this hidden salt is not enough for a body. So we need to add table salt in our daily meals. The recommended dosage of salt is 1 spoon a day. But this may vary from person to person. Like those who sweat a lot lose more salt during perspiration. But it is also not necessary that every time you break a sweat, you need to add that extra salt in your meal. It just depends on how much you sweat and urinate. So just allow your body to decide it. See, if your body needs more sodium, it naturally craves for more salty foods. So simply follow your body's intelligence. Even those who are hypertensive sometimes demand more salt in their diet. So, without overthinking, just supply their demand because their body knows how much salt they need. And actually, by adding a little more salt in their meal, their blood pressure levels usually normalizes. Also, salt has antibacterial and antiseptic properties. Hence, it heals skin problems like eczema, like psoriasis and acne. And if you use salt water on such skin problems, salt helps to hold the hydration in the skin and it reduces the dryness it causes in eczema and psoriasis. But beware, too much salt also contributes to dehydration. So, moderation should always be the rule of life. Then even poison can act as a medicine. And thank you for listening.